All right. Good morning, cyber friends. The Middle Man coming at you again from Walker Studio, Studio B. We are back doing the same thing we were doing on the last time. We want to say we give God all the praise and honor and glory for life, health, and strength, and we thank Him for each and every one of you, your cyber friends. You know who you are. I just want to say, if you look at my title of my video tonight, you know that I have been um, either listening to prophecy or been doing some reading on my own or a mixture of the two. But anytime I come back with a subject as of tonight, USA and end times, you ought to know that I've been dealing with something. So I come to share with all of you the knowledge that I gained through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, and I try to share. And I don't. I just only can share what I read and what the Holy Spirit give me knowledge of. That's all I got, people. Nothing else. Nothing else. But I wanted to say here that on tonight, earlier tonight, last night. Now we are in the early morning hours. I was listening. Well, matter of fact, I caught a little bit of the Hal Lindsey report. I try to watch that every week. Hal Lindsey report as well as Dr. Irvin Baxter. I watch End of the Age broadcast with him as well. And you remember I told y'all on numerous occasions, time before, that I am a student, a long time student. I was a very early age stage of my life that I studied with Dr. Howard E. Step, Bishop Fulton Sheen. Some of you, a lot of your younger people may not even know who those guys are. But a lot of you that are my age or more, you should know who those two cats are. They were two of the greatest prophecy teachers of their era. And I did a lot of studying up under Dr. Howard E. Step and Bishop Fulton Sheen about prophecy, end times, and everything. And then I just kept adding on to the arsenal of great teachers and stuff. Many great teachers have been and came and gone. But nevertheless, on tonight, last night rather, I heard Dr. Irvin Baxter. He made mention about the coming of this new world order. They've been trying to get this thing in for a long time, people. It ain't just started. This one world government. It was tried, people, back in the book of Genesis. If you just got to be reminded, this is nothing new. They tried to do this back in the book of Genesis when Nimrod and his following, they all got out there in the wilderness of Shinar, the land of Shinar. They built this tower called the Tower of Babel, or Babel, whichever one your tongue want to say, Babel or Babel. But it was a tower that was supposed to reach heaven. Because, see, the reason why they was doing that, see, at that particular time, everybody spoke one language. It was one language in the world. That was it. No. And this was right after the flood of Noah. And so what the people decided they would do, they got together in the land of Shinar, in what we will call, more than likely, that later on became the land of Babylon, because I'm looking at it from the word Babel or Babel. They wanted to build this tower to just in case it will be another flood. They want to call themselves built this tower to reach heaven, so they would never be destroyed anymore by a flood or water, per se. Now that's what the general consensus is, that most people believe that's why that they built this tower. And I will agree to a certain extent, but I don't believe that was the only reason. I believe another was defiance. We as humans have always been defiant against God. This is why God had to raise up a people, namely the Jews, that would obey him to a degree where Jesus could come into this dark world, people. That's what I believe. But now, what I said tonight about the USA being in prophecy in the end time, if you look, and I got to give this to Dr. Irvin Baxter. He was the first one that I ever heard mention this and bring it out. I'm not saying he's the only one that had the insight, but he's the first one that I heard to actually bring the message out to the masses. He said, if you look in the book of Revelation around chapter 13, 12, and somewhere around in there, that during the tribulation period, when this man of sin, the Antichrist, was going to be ruling just about the whole world, there are nations that he will not rule. Dr. Irvin Baxter believed, and I believe that too. I believe exactly that the United States will not be one of them. I don't believe it. I don't believe that the United States will be ruled by no one man. I just don't believe that. I don't believe it. And then he also goes on to say that the reason he believes that is because this nation, which is represented by an eagle's wings, is going to be the one that protect the nation of Israel during this tribulation period. Well, people, think about it. Who else qualifies to do that other than the United States of America? Now, he said because it was on eagle's wing that they were protected. Now, I want to say one thing though about this. I want everybody to understand this. Now, you just don't just take just that one statement about eagle's wing as your whole basis for understanding and agreeing with this prophecy. Because see, now you got to remember there were another nation that was just as strong as the United States is right now, that dominated the world during the time of Paul and them preaching and during the time of Jesus. And guess who that was? It was the Romans. Remember that now. The Romans was represented by the eagle of Rome. Remember that? So we got to be very careful when we say that eagle only means the United States. But I do believe that. I really do believe it. Because, see, I'm looking at the Romans were the one that carried out the execution of Christ. And if they carried out the execution of Christ, it would lead me to believe that they would not be in too big of a hurry to run to the aid of Israel to keep them from the devil himself. I just don't believe that. So I do believe that the United States is the one. We are the country that's going to protect Israel during that time of tribulation. I really believe that. Because we qualify. We got the firepower, we got the manpower, we got the technology. We have what it takes to go up against that man of sin and prevail. I believe we do. And if we continue to keep God on our side, I know we can do it. Now, let me back up a little bit and say this here one thing. Now, people, we in this country, we are the youngest country by far in this world system of things. We are not, I don't believe, going to be a part of that world government that they're trying to form right now. They're trying to form another Tower of Babel. That's what they're trying to do. And it ain't going to work. People, God is not going to let it work. You can read your Bible. You ought to understand that God is not going to allow that to work. It's never going to work. But at any rate, at being an American, full-blooded American, I am just so pleased to say that I am pro-America. Yeah, I am pro-America. Yeah, I love my country, people. Love my country. And would do almost anything I could in my power to protect the country, all against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will do that, I believe. Because I believe in what this country at least once stood for. In other words, they said, I had this historian guy named David Barton, I think he said it, when they when they got together and formed this nation up and everything, and all Benjamin Franklin and all of them was together and everything, after they did the ratification and everything, and when they got through with everything, they came out, they said Benjamin Franklin came out, he was addressed by this lady. Said, well, what, Benny, what do we have? He said, we have a republic if we can keep it. Now, you see what he said? He didn't say we had a democracy. He didn't say that. He said we had a republic if we could keep it. Now, I don't think that you have to be too intelligent to understand what he was saying. We were founded, this country was founded basically mostly on biblical principles, y'all. All you got to do is read our laws and read the Bible. If you read the Ten Commandments and read our laws in the Confederation, the Constitution, they are very similar. They almost look identical. Let me know that this country was founded on biblical principles. At least some. It may not have been all, but it at least was some. So what I'm saying, as one American to all of you, to other Americans, y'all, it is very possible that we have come to such a time as this, just like it was in the book of Esther. When Esther came to the kingdom for such a time as to save her people, which was the Jews, from annihilation by Haman. See, in other words, Haman wanted to get rid of them. Okay, the United States, we are hated by a lot of the other nations, quote unquote, that are anti-Semitic, anti-Israel. We are very hated because we allied with Israel. Israel, they say, America has been Israel's best friend. And I'm glad of that, people. Many man is glad of that. But what can we say as far as this, where we are right now in this Bible time? We're at the end time, people. We definitely, I believe we are very close. And what's been going on in our government in the last few years, we got so much unrest in our own country. We got so much division. Everybody, we don't like this person. We hate that person. We don't like this senator. We hate that senator. We don't like the president, this one. He didn't do like the other president, that one did. And, we got all this stuff going on in our country right now. And I believe it's a tactic of Satan himself to get everybody worked up in confusion and get their mind off the real deal. People, it's all about Christ and about the end time. Christ. Satan knows that his end is very near. He knows that. But the problem is he don't want me and you to know that. So therefore, all this other stuff that's going on is nothing but what we call camouflage. It's delusional. In other words, he's throwing everybody curveballs. He's trying to get everybody's mind off what is the real deal. So people, I do believe I'm gonna side with, I'm gonna go and commit. I'm gonna go and commit it right now that I really kind of commit to Dr. Urban Baxter take on this here thing about the United States and the end time prophecy. I'm about to take on it because it's the only thing that really makes sense. If Israel gonna be protected by another nation, it's gonna have to be us, because everybody else is against them. And then it also says in the Bible that all nations will go against Israel. It says that in the book of Zechariah, people, Old Testament. All nations will go against Israel. Now, we are a nation, people, and I'm wondering. And if it said all nations, then that would include us too. So something has got to happen that this differentiate and pulls us away from the world nations as they are right now. Something is going to have to happen for us to be pulled away from that in order to be friends with Israel, in order to protect Israel. Because if it didn't, we would be one of the nations that would be going against Israel ourselves. So in order for me to believe, in which I do believe that we are going to be one of the nations. We are going to be that nation that stand with Israel. I do believe that. This from our current president, President Donald J. Trump, he has shown very promising. He did things that he wanted about the embassy and everything, being a friend to Israel. He made the promise that as long as his administration was there, they would always have a friend with the United States. So hey, that looks good. That looks good. Now I know that we got a whole lot of other things that going against him. They don't like what he did about the wall and a whole lot of other stuff. But you know, people, we got to take care of one problem at a time. We got to take care of one problem at a time. So what I believe is, I do believe that the United States is going to be very, very instrumental in the saving of Israel as far as coming to their protection against this world leader that's coming, which is that Antichrist. I believe that. Because if it's two nations on this earth that I don't believe going to bow down to that Antichrist, one of them is Israel and the other one is the United States, in which a lot of our other third party, other world country leaders and things that want nuclear power and everything, they call Israel Little Satan, and in the United States they call us Big Satan. Yeah, they call us that. But nevertheless, I do believe that's the way it all going to pan out. I do believe that, people. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not. And I hope that we all will come together in this country and stop all the nonsense. And let us focus, put the focus back. Let us not be drawn away from this here illusion that Satan is trying to pull. He's trying to get our mind off the real deal by diverting our attention elsewhere, which doesn't make us any sense at all. The sense that it makes is this coming world, man, of sin, with all this world order stuff. That's what you better be looking at. All this banking system and all this thing. Everybody trying to get to be one. That ain't gonna never work, people. That world government is never gonna work. I'm just gonna tell you that because I read the Bible. I read the Bible. So with that being said, Middleman just gonna say, you know, I appreciate those of you that do take time out to listen at these videos and look at them, and hopefully I can say something that make a difference. And at least if it doesn't do anything but just spark you and spark your curiosity to go and seek some of this stuff out for yourself. I challenge all of you. Don't just take my word for it. Go read your Bible and look at the news. Some of it. Don't look at it too much, because the news will depress you if you look at it too much. But I'm just saying, for certain things you need to look and where you can see the Bible prophecy coming together. It all coming together, people. Just as Jesus said it would be. And so, Old Middleman is just going to stop right here and just going to ask everyone to join in with Old Middleman. Keep the Lord on your side. Do the best you can. In other words, don't be trying to draw, everything out, and you trying to make certain that you doing so much, because we can't do it. But our Savior can. Just lean on Him and do the right thing. Always try to do the right thing. Totally lean on Christ, and you'll be all right. And so will I. With that being said, this Middleman, I'm going to go on and get off this here thing now and try to, it already early, I should say. I guess I'm going to try to do something. I've been trying to get my music programs and application to work right. Maybe I'll try to work with a little bit of that tonight. Maybe even get on my keyboard a little bit. Because right now, I'm just really, I'm kind of hyped up a little bit. But then again, I don't feel too good. But I feel enough. I just want to just keep, I got something stirring up me on the inside of me that I want to get done right now. And we just going to say that we want to announce that we had a real good time yesterday at Choir Day at my home church. We take our hat all to the choir Job well done, each and every one of y'all. God bless you, keep you. And it's my hope that we'll continue to grow in the Lord and we'll continue to get those songs the way God would want us to get them. So with that being said, this is Mitty Man saying until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first. Peace and good morning.